We did how many rounds? We probably did at least 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bag for about 8 too.
Yeah.
It was good. You're not in bad shape.
Yeah. Just got fill up my mind.
The highly anticipated rematch between Lamont Roach and Gervonta "Tank" Davis has just hit a major roadblock. Davis suffered a hand injury during a recent training session, a setback eerily similar to the one endured months ago by one of his lightweight rivals, the current WBC lightweight champion. That injury required surgery and led to a 4-month layoff. Tank, true to his promise after the first bout with Roach, which ended in the first draw of his professional career, had returned to the gym with a renewed focus. Determined to enhance his punching power, he ramped up his strength training, working the heavy bag and pads with intense force. But during one particularly powerful session, a punch landed badly, resulting in a serious hand injury. He collapsed. In pain, received immediate treatment, and had his hand bandaged. Now, the biggest concern among fans and experts alike is whether Davis will need surgery. If that happens, the rematch with Lamont Roach Jr., rumored to take place this summer, could be postponed for several months until he fully recovers. Davis hasn't had the best start to 2025. The March fight with Roach took a toll not only on his pride but potentially on his career trajectory. Everything changed in the 9th round of that bout, when Davis went down on one knee and returned to his corner, claiming eye irritation caused by grease. Referee Steve Willis didn't count. It is a knockdown, a call that influenced the judge's controversial decision to score the fight a draw. Many fans and analysts believed Roach Jr. deserved the win. The New York State Athletic Commission reviewed the fight, but ultimately upheld the result. While talk of a summer rematch has been circulating, no official update has been given. And Davis himself has remained silent on social media, a departure from his usual presence. Retirement has also been looming over Davis for months. He previously stated that 2025 would likely be his final year as an active fighter. While he hasn't made any definitive public statements about stepping away, his trainer Kenny Ellis recently addressed the issue in an interview with Mill City Boxing, hinting at the possibility of retirement and discussing a potential fight with Shakur Stevenson.
What do you think about, Lamont Roach and Tank's rematch, though?
It'll be a good fight. Good fight.
Yeah. There were like some rumors saying that June 21st, T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
I haven't heard anything.
For now, fans wait in uncertainty, not just for the rematch, but for clarity on what lies ahead for one of boxing's most polarizing stars. Tank doesn't get told when to move, but that's boxing. Anything can happen, said trainer Kenny Ellis, echoing the uncertainty swirling around Gervonta Davis's future. You never know. Tank might retire. You just have to wait and see what he does. Ellis concluded with a supportive message. Whatever Tank does, I'll respect it. If he goes on, he has my support. If he retires, he has my support. His words have stirred even more speculation among fans, adding to the already tense atmosphere surrounding Davis's next steps. The butterfly effect of that controversial fight against Lamont Roach Jr. continues to ripple through the boxing world. Each day, the community
I don't pay that stuff no mind unless certain people post it. You know,
Yeah.
certain networks, certain people, and once they post it, then it's on. But other than that, it's just the internet talking. You know what I mean?
Tell me what state of mind is Tank now in?
Tank is Tank. He good.
Community becomes more anxious for concrete news about a rematch, a bout that has become one of the most anticipated matchups of 2025. Their first encounter on March 1st ended in a hotly debated majority draw, made even more controversial by the 9th round incident where Davis dropped to a knee in the ring. The referee didn't count it as a knockdown, a decision that significantly influenced the scoring and ignited outrage among fans and analysts alike. Now, with the outcome still disputed and Davis's injury raising doubts, the road to a rematch is filled with questions. Will Tank recover in time? Will he step into the ring again at all? One thing is,
especially like for some reason I haven't heard anything from this, but the only one that I've seen that was like quite odd to me, and I'm pretty sure you heard it because you're a fan of her, is Clarissa Shields saying something about Tank got evicted or something like that.
all signs point to a rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. being on the horizon. The real question is, when? Multiple reporters have suggested that June 21st is the most discussed potential date for the fight, with Las Vegas emerging as the most likely host city. While no official announcement has been made, sources told show that both camps are now committed to making the rematch happen. If the date holds, fans could see one of boxing's most talked-about rivalries reignite as early as this summer. Since the controversial...
Did you hear that?
Hell no. Hell no.
I said, that's crazy.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, she said it, and I haven't heard that from nobody.
No. If that was the case, it'd be...
March 1st bout, Lamont Roach Jr. has stayed highly active on social media, speaking publicly about the fight and advocating for the rematch to be scheduled sooner rather than later. He's appeared in several interviews, sharing his perspective and making it clear he wants closure and a shot at victory without controversy. While everything remains unofficial for now, the boxing world is watching closely, hopeful that confirmation is just around the corner. In an April 8th appearance on the All the Smoke Fight podcast with boxing legend Andre Ward, Lamont Roach Jr. shared an encouraging update on rematch talks with GervontaDavis. We are trending in the right...
AI crazy, but they've been jumping lately too. Whole bunch of different stuff, man. I be laughing my ass off.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Speaking of, I seen Jalil Hackett's Twitter. He was talking about what possible
direction, Roach said of the ongoing negotiations. I hope we can make an announcement soon. I hope we have a decision soon. That's all I must say. But we are trending in the right way. His optimism was clear, but so was the weight of the controversy still lingering from the March 1st bout. Perhaps Roach's biggest mistake was believing that the decision could still be overturned, that justice might prevail and he could be recognized as a two-division champion by officially ending GervontaDavis's undefeated streak. But as of now, no reversal has taken place and the draw remains. The hope for redemption, however, continues to fuel Roach's motivation as both camps inch closer to sealing the deal for one of 2025's most anticipated rematches.
To take the fall. And it ain't gonna be him. So, like, they owned up to it. Like, all right, we missed this. They owned up to it. It's like, but they just saying like, all right, we're not gonna overturn it though. We're gonna apologize and give you your flowers, but you ain't gonna get what you want. That's basically what I got.
March 1st, Lamont Roach Jr. and Gervonta Tank Davis delivered what many called an instant classic, a fight filled with skill, heart, and drama. But the legacy of the bout has been overshadowed by one highly controversial moment in the latter rounds. During a pivotal exchange, Davis dropped to one knee, an action that, under boxing rules, should have been counted as a knockdown. However, referee Steve Willis allowed the fight to continue without any penalty, a decision that played a crucial role in the judges declaring the fight a majority draw. For Roach, nicknamed the Reaper, the outcome was bittersweet. He believed he had done enough to secure the win, and many fans and analysts agreed. A glimmer of hope emerged when the New York State Athletic Commission announced they were reviewing the fight. That hope intensified when WBA President Gilberto J. Mendoza voiced...
And you ain't heard nothing from the ref? He didn't make no statement?
He ain't make no statement. That was, I ain't gonna lie, man, that was, from him, that's sad.
A lot of times that's what the commissions do though, man. If something bad happened with a ref, they'll protect the referee.
Yeah.
And they'll try to get in front of it, and they'll have a spokesperson come out, and it's like, yeah, that's cool sometimes, but if you drop the ball like that and that affects my legacy, my livelihood, because y'all negotiating for a rematch right now. So
support for Roach, stating that the knee should absolutely have been scored as a knockdown. Reports even began to circulate that the commission might overturn the decision. Breathing new life into Roach's dream of being recognized as the rightful winner and a two-division world champion. But as time passed, that possibility faded, and with it, Roach's shot at redemption was once again pushed to a future rematch. Let me repeat, I stand by what I expressed last Sunday in Ring Magazine, said WBA President Gilberto J. Mendoza. Based on my 30-plus years of experience, taking a knee without a punch shall be ruled a knockdown. It affected the result of the fight. But just as momentum seemed to be shifting in Lamont Roach Jr.'s favor, the New York State Athletic Commission delivered a crushing...
Fighting at 130, obviously he was already at the championship level. He got catapulted up there by doing what he was supposed to do, knocking everybody out that they put in front of him. Got Floyd behind him. I was on the hush. I was coming up though. He's a small guy. I knew he wasn't going to go too far. So, and I knew he can rumble. I knew that he'd be as... I'm not surprised at how good he is or what he's done to other...
blow. The commission ultimately upheld the referee's decision, citing a technical issue that prevented them from reviewing the fight footage, a decision that left Roach and his team stunned. It was yet another gut punch for the 29-year-old Washington native, who had hoped for a reversal, or at least some form of clarity after the controversy. Instead, what he got was a decision that only deepened his frustration. In a recent appearance on the All the Smoke Fight podcast with Andre Ward, Roach revisited the March 1st bout in detail.
He was ready for Jamel. He was already champ. He was like, I handle that business, man. Make some money together. So you ain't got to tell me twice. That's how it's supposed to be. So it's just like all the signs was there. All the signs was there. All I needed was...
He explained how officials had eventually reached out to him following their review, and how the referee's dismissive attitude during the fight rubbed him the wrong way. For Roach, the entire experience has been a roller coaster of emotions. From believing he had done enough to win, to the hope of justice through a review, and now to the harsh realization that the outcome would stand. During his interview with Andre Ward on the All the Smoke Fight podcast, Lamont Roach Jr. revealed more about his communication with the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, following the controversial March 1st bout. Ward posed the direct question: what was the reason they gave you for not overturning the decision?
Oh, whoa. Or it's another comparison I don't want to make to Mike Tyson, but...
Now that's crazy.
Roach shared that, according to NYSAC, counting the knee as a knockdown would have fundamentally changed the fight. Not just the scoring, but also GervontaDavis's mindset and strategy in the remaining rounds. Since there was no definitive way to predict how Davis would have responded, they chose not to alter the result. Roach, currently the World Boxing Association featherweight champion, found the explanation vague and unsatisfying. What I took from that is basically, yeah, we messed up, but somebody's got to take the fall, and it ain't gonna be him, Roach said. He interpreted the commission's reasoning as a subtle admission of error,
that first world title, or whatever the case may be, that can put me in that conversation. When he fought Hector, little do a lot of people know, I got the call for that fight too. It was a little crazy, but